ladies and gentlemen. As many of you are undoubtedly aware, the Amhara region has become a battleground where intense fighting is raging on multiple fronts, pitting the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, against Amhara Fano forces. The conflict shows no sign of abating, with a substantial presence of ENDF and Oromo soldiers deployed across various areas within the Amhara region. However, alongside this military engagement, we have been inundated with numerous reports detailing severe human rights abuses, including killings and rampant looting, particularly in regions where ENDF troops are stationed. In this video, we aim to provide you with the most recent updates on this harrowing situation. The latest information we have received pertains to the Abadongor country in Welega, where the ENDF is accused of being responsible for the deaths of a shocking 76 Amhara civilians. Equally distressing, local Oromo residents are reported to be involved in the robbery and arson of homes belonging to Amhara civilians, who have been forced to abandon their residences due to drone strikes or killings by both ENDF and Oromo soldiers. Regrettably, we are unable to share video evidence of these atrocities due to YouTube's content policies and guidelines. In another grim development, in RC, also located in Welega, Oromo region forces, in collaboration with the Oromo Liberation Front, OLF, are alleged to have taken the lives of more than 250 Amhara civilians. This staggering death toll has resulted in the mass displacement of Amhara civilians from the area, compounding the tragedy. Moving further to Dera in northern Shua, reports indicate that the number of Amhara civilians killed by a combination of Oromo ENDF soldiers, Oromo region forces, Oromo militias, and OLF now surpasses 70 individuals. The town of Kobo, situated in northern Shua, has witnessed the murder of 2 Amhara civilians, both of whom were youths, allegedly at the hands of ENDF soldiers. In Karanyo, Mota, located in Gojam, ENDF has been implicated in the killing of yet another Amhara civilian, adding to the growing toll of civilian casualties. Gendawane, situated in Gojam as well, is the site of yet another tragic incident where ENDF is reported to have murdered an Amhara civilian. This victim was known locally as a philanthropist, making the loss all the more poignant. Further reports from Zuti, Shua Robit, indicate that Oromo ENDF soldiers are suspected of having taken the life of a ceramic worker, adding to the grim tally of casualties. Lastly, in Maxinit, located in Gonda along the A3 highway, ENDF soldiers are alleged to have killed several civilians following their defeat in Balesa Gonda. According to accounts from eyewitness survivors, a tragic incident unfolded in the Abe Dongora Wareda of East Volega, where drone strikes claimed the lives of 33 innocent civilians. On the fateful night of October 5, 2023, at 8 a.m., regime forces carried out these devastating drone strikes, resulting in the deaths of 33 Amhara civilians and leaving numerous others wounded. This heart-wrenching event occurred in the Arusi Kabele of Abe Dongoro Wareda, situated within the Shanbu zone of East Volega, Oromia region, as recounted by local residents who were left traumatized by the ordeal. In a grim twist of events, it has been reported that for the past 7 days, the terrorist organization known as the Oromo Liberation Front Shane, OLF Sheen, along with the Oromia Special Forces and the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, declared war on the Amhara residents in the region. This declaration of hostilities has sent shockwaves through the local population, plunging them into a state of fear and uncertainty. According to one resident in the area, this war was specifically initiated against Amhara farmers, and the brutality they have endured is described as even more horrific than invasions from so-called external enemies. The survivors of the attacks have recounted the terrifying use of weaponry such as Zu-23 mortars, tanks, and heavy artillery against defenseless farmers. In response to this onslaught, Amharas living in the area felt compelled to mount a struggle in self-defense. These brave individuals have shared the harrowing abuses they've endured, reflecting on the painful transformation from being labeled as sheep before the conflict to being proudly known as Amhara Fano, as they stand united in self-defense. The victims have reported that women, children, and elderly individuals were among those injured in the war, and residential homes belonging to Amhara families were selectively burned to the ground. Since the commencement of the fighting in Abdongoro Woreda, the homes of Amhara residents have been targeted with alarming precision, resulting in widespread looting and devastation at the hands of government armed forces. In the midst of this heart-rending tragedy, we have received deeply disturbing footage from survivors showcasing the grim reality of the bodies of Amhara civilians who fell victim to drone strikes and heavy artillery. These images serve as a stark reminder of the human toll exacted by this senseless violence. Apart from this, it has come to our attention that a global network comprising more than 300 human rights organizations hailing from 105 different countries is united in its urgent demand. The government of Ethiopia must bring an immediate end to the ongoing internet shutdown that has been enforced in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Internet shutdowns, especially during times of conflict, not only jeopardize the lives of those affected, but also deprive individuals of access to critical life-saving information. The persistent blockage of internet access in the region, which has persisted since the outbreak of conflict in August, represents a clear and flagrant violation of international law. The genesis of this situation can be traced back to August 3rd, when tensions escalated between the Amhara Fano forces and federal military forces. In response to these heightened clashes and a deteriorating security situation, the government of Ethiopia reportedly opted to shut down internet services in the Amhara region. As the conflict continues to intensify and the overall security landscape becomes increasingly precarious, the people residing in the Amhara region find themselves in urgent need of connectivity to the rest of the world. Access to the internet is vital for reporting and documenting casualties as well as exposing human rights abuses that may be taking place. The very act of shutting down the internet exacerbates the crisis, making it difficult for crucial information to reach the global community. Civil society organizations have been outspoken in their condemnation of this internet shutdown, and their pleas for a peaceful resolution to the conflict and instability in the Amhara region have been resounding. It is imperative that all parties involved prioritize the safety and well-being of the region's inhabitants, and that includes restoring their ability to access the internet, a fundamental tool for communication and information sharing in today's interconnected world. The global network of human rights organizations stands united in calling for an end to this internet shutdown, emphasizing that the restoration of connectivity is not only a legal obligation, but a crucial step toward transparency, accountability, and ultimately a peaceful resolution to the ongoing conflict. It is our hope that this urgent call will be heeded, and that all necessary steps will be taken to ensure that the people of the Amhara region have access to the information and support they need during these challenging times.